Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Ted Terzansky, and you're watching WWE The People, the podcast for the fans by the fans. Joining me is Triple J Joe Jagey and Danny No Go Danny Nagowski. Guys, SummerSlam was incredible for me. I mean, I think I'd say it was a solid 9 out of 10.
I went 8 out of 10.
I said 8.5 out of 10.
I was feeling generous. I gave it a 9. And obviously the only reason I gave it a 9 was just for Roman.
I gave the 8 because make sure I got the right microphone on too while I'm doing this. I just felt I'm not a huge fan of Nia Jax. Still am not. I don't know what it is. I mean, we'll see. This run is definitely better than the last one, but I'm just
Yeah, I mean that.
The other point is Jacob Fatu definitely got hurt.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah. We're gonna get into that because I have it broken down. We're gonna do it match by match, so
Okay.
in the order of the card.
With that, I have a little bit of a swerve, but I'll wait for that Roman Jacob Fatu thing when we get to that. So go ahead,
Yeah,
Ted.
so let's get right to the card. So first match of the night, I was kind of surprised they started with Liv against Rhea.
Yeah.
So, but Liv and Dom kind of surprised they started that match first, but not surprised at all that Dom turned on Rhea.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
all called it. We all said that was going to happen, right? That was everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that pretty much was foreshadowed, probably for the past month. But what caught me was I do you think Rhea was actually hurt?
Yes.
Yes and no.
I do think she was hurt. I think after she may have popped it back in the first time it happened, I think now they were like, okay, we have more story to tell with this. But I don't think the second time it was
Yeah, I mean
That's what I was. Yeah.
I'm not a medical professional, but when something pops out like that, when you pop it back into place, are you still feeling that intense pain after you pop it back into place?
I'm sure there's some sort of residual effect.
Hey Dan, how does it feel when you get a dislocated?
Yeah, for those.
I thought you were asking the delivery guy or something.
Yeah, for our walkies
I thought he was gonna come. I told him he should come on today, but I think he's in the middle of something, whatever.
Yeah, Dan, go ahead and tell the viewers what give them a little bit of context.
So two things. One, yes, at WrestleMania 40, I never got to go into the arena. My son actually dislocated his knee outside of the stadium. Obviously, a lot of things have happened because of that. We are going to the next WrestleMania. Thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles, the organization who is going to send us there. I believe the last preseason game. We are going to get some information on that. But yes, so afterwards, it all depends. He had swelling done the first time around. He popped in. He was pretty much back to normal in a couple days. But the shoulders are way different than the knees when it comes to that. I do know that. I told you guys a story when we were watching it last night about my high school teacher. Literally he only did it for 3 classes each day. He was, I forget what it was because it was English class, I think. So why was I don't understand what we were doing, but I think we were reading a book of some sort, something. And this was my sophomore year, so he had a straitjacket on, dude, and he would literally use a brick wall to dislocate his arm and to get it back in again. And he did it 3 times, my class and 2 other classes. I don't know what they were teaching us. That's the Catholic high school for you, man.
Yeah, that's literally something out of Lethal Weapon 2. Or Lethal Weapon 2.
But
yes, I understood that reference.
Right. Like when watching the match, I mean, you definitely knew something was wrong. Like
it's funny you say. So I rewatched most of it today with my wife this morning, and she was like, "Oh, but look, Rhea has like a very bony shoulder right there in the beginning," and it did. And then right when it happened, it looked like when she went into the turnbuckle, and it's like you saw it. You're like, "Oh,
yeah."
It looked like it was.
I mean, I think all 3 of us
forward.
looked at each other at the same time and just went, "Oof."
Well,
Right.
when she was sitting there going, "It's out, it's out, it's out."
Yeah.
And you actually saw Liv trying to help her put it put it
Yeah,
back in,
and I
like
think
kicking
that's
her in the
what did it.
shoulder.
I think that's what did it. I think she used the table as more story. I think she got it in before that. I
Yeah.
think it was. I think it
Well-
had to do when Liv was when I think by the stairs. Liv came and
It's-
did another kick to her.
It is possible she was talking about, Deadpool, Wolverine. It's out. It's out. We got to go see it. It's out.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what it was.
Can we edit that out?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, punk.
Yeah. So and then Dom turns on Rhea. I was kind of surprised the way when he had grabbed the chair from her, when he was saying that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. It's not the way to win the title. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe not. But then he threw it back in the ring, and there you go.
Did you
Yeah.
think? Did you think it was like it almost? It felt like the audience. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the Cleveland fans or anything, but like it almost felt like the audience didn't catch it at right away. You know what I mean? Like, sure, like he kicked the chair in, but it wasn't really. It didn't really give it away that he gave the chair to Liv until after he turned around with the evil smile and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it could have went both ways. If he didn't do the smile, it could have been like, oh, it was a mistake. But it just didn't look intentional to me.
Right. I know what you're getting at.
Like,
at.
He kicked the chair in, but like the timing, I guess if that's what they're going for, the timing of it was perfect because it could have went either way. Like but it was his actual the evil smile he had. At the
It
end
wasn't
that
as
really gave
much
it away.
like it wasn't a giveaway betrayal as someone else later on down the line that we'll talk about was.
Or it wasn't anything like the barbershop.
Oh yeah,
sweet shit music through the window type deal.
Right.
But it was like we were all watching together. So when it slid in there, I was like, oh, here we're like, here it goes.
Yeah,
we
kept waiting.
But it almost the way the timing of it again. This is kudos to them if that's the way it was supposed to go down because they slid it in there and it was like, oh, he's sliding the chair to Rhea, but then the turnaround and then the what's Liv's finisher called again?
Oblivion,
something like that. Yeah. So she hits that and then boom. Yeah, I was like, okay. But it's like I said, it wasn't. But like it could have been a mistake, and it wasn't like how Rhea was like looking like, oh, you betrayed me. But it just to me, it didn't look like he betrayed her until he actually turned around with a smile. That's
right. It could have been like an Eddie Guerrero thing. Like, oops,
You just said the name that he's basically
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
But there's only one person I believe who I would be okay with doing that, which is Dom. So
and 10 out of 10 to Triple H for the storytelling. Just
long-term storytelling.
He's been the master of that thus far.
Like I said, I think we talked about it too. Like Scott Steiner, said in I figured out why my microphone's being funny. Okay, there it is. Scott Steiner was in an interview with Bill Aptar, who I met. Remember I told you that? I met him at the supermarket. Just randomly at the supermarket.
Randomly at the supermarket.
Yeah, and that's what he said to me. And Scott said that's the difference between AEW and WWE. It's WWE's telling stories. He's like, nobody just wants matches anymore. This ain't the territory days.
No, it ain't.
Yep. So
well, speaking of Steiner, you guys ready for the next match?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man. Yeah. Speaking of Steiner, Braun Breaker beating Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. Man, he's a beast.
He legitimately is.
I'm listening. I'm just fixing my microphone stand.
There is no ceiling for him. He is that so damn good.
So my question is going to be, how long of a title reign do you think he's going to have? But also, when does he start going for the higher belts?
I think they give him that progression like they did for Gunther.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to have the title just as long as Logan had the U.S. title.
Yeah, he's got to have a dominant run. It can't be like a fluke, roll ups or count outs or anything like that. He's just got to go on like a run where he just like destroys everybody in his way for like the next 6 months at least.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that was a clean up aisle 7. I think that's what it was from the last one. I think they realized like, we shouldn't. We got to fix this.
Yeah, I mean, because he pretty much became a squash match, I would say.
Yeah, and nothing against Sammy, I mean, I'm actually pulling up because I like to have the the highlights in the background kind of inspire me with things to talk about. But yeah,
That's smart.
I just think you're making him out to be this beast, and he's more like, I would say, like more like a contained Goldberg. What I mean by that is more or less like almost like Goldberg was just ran right through you with no other personality. I feel like Braun has the brains and the power, and I think that's what they need to do.
He's a rare combination. He's like if there's a 6-tool player, he is a 6-tool player.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like him. I wasn't a huge fan of him like in NXT, but I wasn't paying attention to NXT as much. And then towards like the end of his NXT run, I was like, this guy's gonna be a freaking monster. And
Yeah.
then, but I also think he's another star that I think that when they brought him up, they brought him up as a heel, and he's too over. Nobody's buying it.
They brought him up with no story too.
Yeah,
Because remember, he went to SmackDown, then like he was gone, and then all of a sudden he got drafted to Raw.
but the timing of it, I felt the draft was a bad timing because it was like
The draft was awful.
It was right in the middle of like all these stories that are already very deep in
Right.
long-term storytelling. I feel like honestly, the draft should be right after Rumble or right before Rumble at the end of the year.
I could see right before Rumble, like a beginning of the year thing.
Yeah, because like my feelings on it is like
New
now
year,
with all
new
this
rosters.
yeah, exactly. In the long-term storytelling that they're telling, it's like he came in and there was nothing really for him simply because there was all the people he could be going on a run with are already in the middle of something.
Right. I think that's
why
they brought up. I think that's why they brought up like Ilya and all that stuff too.
Right.
So
So I think moving the draft makes more sense if they're going to do the draft every year, every 2 years.
do it every 2 years. I would say do it every 2 years.
Every 2 years, then you do it either right before. You know what you do? You do it if Rumble is on Sunday, you do it that Monday and that Friday.
I like the way you think.
You know what I'm saying? That's how, because then any other thing is like whoever wins the Rumble, whatever title they go for, that's obviously the show they're going to be on.
And I would say they're immune from the draft. Immune.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it's before the Rumble, it doesn't matter.
Right. True.
Yeah. So.
My favorite was the way they did it at 2004. It was probably, I don't think it was the very first draft, but it was when they made a big deal out of the draft. When they had the general manager of Raw, the general manager of SmackDown. It was Bischoff against Paul Heyman.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were picking them out of a
like that bingo thing.
Yeah, the bingo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end, it ends up in the show ends with a big SmackDown versus Raw brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. Like it was. Yeah.
And you're wearing a shirt. I missed the days where they had it wasn't as good as the original ECW, but there were some aspects of WWE ECW that were fun. And like that Cena match against RVD and stuff like that over there. Like, I wish they would have that's what I was saying. Like with NXT, it's like, the NXT stuff, to me is like with N and TNA, what I'm getting in is like, are they making them main roster basically? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to start bringing them into the draft with like I'm getting totally thrown off here what I'm talking about. But what I meant about it is like the NXT, it's like the NXT I feel like is becoming just as popular as the other two, as ECW kind of was like the third. But
the third brand, yeah.
Yeah, but like with TNA is what I was trying to get at. So does WWE, if TKO buys TNA, but does WWE get TNA more involved and they start drafting and trading?
Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be cool.
Like
I would hope they don't buy them only for that simple fact is I kind of like this. I'm going to use the cliche term now, forbidden door aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Vince, this would never have happened under Vince ever.
But I think with what he said in the press conference too, it kind of goes along with what I'm saying here. If they bring the idea of trades into the mix with TNA and NXT or SmackDown or whatever, you give a lot of people who they don't have many stories for mid-card wise and younger stars from TNA and NXT opportunities elsewhere. Like, so if like, just let's say we're doing a business, JJ, you got you're running, WWE's main roster. Okay. I'm running NXT, you're running TNA. Okay. You got somebody who's kind of riding a high horse right now that I could use over here.
I
I can-
believe in Joe Hendry.
There you go.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
So that's what I'm saying. So Joe Hendry's biggest thing right now, you know what I'm saying? So if WWE was like, hey, we want to make a trade for that contract or whatever, okay, well, for Joe Hendry, we need 3 people. Okay, I'll give you 2 NXT stars and we'll find somebody that is not doing the greatest mid card that we think we could do. We can make him grow better and have more opportunities over at TNA. Actually make the trades. Actually, the real business aspect of it, but turn it into a story. Use it. And not like, because they're already having married people like make out with other people on screen. So let the business be out there. Like, hey, yeah, we talked to so and so, we made a trade. So Joe Hendry's going to come to the main roster and they're going to get 2 stars. TNA is going to get this 2 stars from here. And one mid card. I'm not gonna say mid card, but you know what I mean, like one.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah. Who's not main
So-
event?
Well, I want to see at some point
I gotta hold the
during
mic.
during his title run. I want to see Braun Breaker versus Braun Strowman. Two bulls.
Braun Strowman. Yeah.
Now, how far along as a wrestler is Mark Henry's son?
Oh, he just got
He
signed.
he just got
WWE,
signed
But
recently.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
has he been training for a while? Like, is he?
I don't even think so.
I
I think
don't
he's
know.
more
I
of a
can't give-
development thing.
Yeah,
If they didn't make Otis such a joke, he could have been a good one to run with them. But I think he's gonna have. But I don't think he's gonna have anybody with Braun because like with Strowman. I think they're gonna give him people that can get him even more over than he is. I think
I
they're gonna-
agree with that. I can see Braun Breaker going maybe like down the line, maybe like Damian Priest or something like that.
There it is. That's what
maybe Jay.
Jay's a good
Jay's
one.
not a bad one either, Up there's the shot heard around the world. Shoulder. But the shoulder. JJ, the shoulder, not the other part. But yeah, I can see it being Jay. But I think with Braun, they're gonna have to give him somebody bigger than
Yeah, they're not going to keep squashing jobbers and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I would like one of these things. Well, now that LA Knight has it, it'd be awesome if he does. I think we talked about this. He does basically the same thing Cena did, open challenge.
I can see LA Knight. Yeah. Oh yeah, I could see that.
I was gonna say Braun Breaker, but I was like, it might not make sense for him, but for LA Knight,
No, because he's a heel. The heel
Yeah.
wouldn't do an open challenge.
Yeah, but speaking of LA Knight, next match.
Yeah.
Yep, LA Knight, Logan Paul. LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And MGK.
And MGK. Don't forget MGK.
Yeah. Yeah, overall that was another good match.
That was.
You can't bash
Logan-
him, man. You can't bash him.
No, I think he actually got hurt too. I read somewhere he got hurt.
Triple H said in the post conference he was.
I didn't even watch his.
Banged. I read about it this morning. They just said he was banged up because he was him and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, it was them two, and then he did say about Rhea, but she should be good. And Jacob Fatu, they're checking how bad he was. He was pretty banged up, and then Logan Paul was banged up. Logan Paul, though, I mean, as good as he is, it's like
he's got it.
But he's got to do the stuff that that Hogan said Edge doesn't need to do. That's unfortunate.
Absolutely.
He has to do all that extra.
Honestly, we've all been watching wrestling for the longest time. I don't think I've ever seen somebody come out like this. Just I don't want to say out of nowhere, but it had nothing to do with like wrestling and just took the bull by the horns and just ran away with the whole thing, man. He's just he's overly talented. It's like it's disgusting.
He was upset, that people were booing him because he wanted to be like the superhero kind of character.
Right.
So it took him a bit to kind of like be all in on the heel thing, and now he is. I mean,
he's a phenomenal heel.
His mic work could use a little bit more, but like I think that's gonna come. I think he's doing fine.
He's just too talented for not.
He's doing great, but I mean, the first time I saw him when he and Ricochet collided in midair.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like it's like this kid's got potential. Like this kid's.
He halfway across the rope. I mean, one side to the other, basically. Like
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
like
we've been
he's
in a
gonna,
wrestling ring. Those things aren't small.
yeah, he's gonna go far. So
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
hey, all to him, and good for him.
And congratulations to LA Knight for
Yeah.
finally getting some. Did you see that fan who's going viral? She's like a diehard LA Knight fan. She was in the stands and bawling her eyes out. I'll post it in our group chat. The video.
Okay, cool.
It's hilarious. She's like, I can't believe it really happened. And I was like,
The boyhood dream has come true.
yeah. Then like I was like, this girl's really upset. I was like, I wonder what match she's talking about. And like I just happened to click on it, and she's just like, everything's LA Knight. I was like, oh, she must run the fan club.
Well, like I said to Ted yesterday, and when we were at WrestleMania, I think aside from the legends and all that stuff, I think LA Knight had the biggest ovation, the biggest pop. Everyone was on board LA Knight. Like
Yeah.
everyone's behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like Lincoln Financial Field, just all at the same time. LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I legit lost my voice at that match, so that's a memorable match.
yeah. Well, I hate to take a memorable match and turn it into an unmemorable match, but we do got to cover it. Nia Jax defeating Bailey.
Go ahead. It's all you
All
guys.
all of us had this one wrong. Nia Jax defeated Bailey, and Tiffany Stratton did not cash in on her Money in the Bank. Obviously, for obvious reasons, if Nia's winning, no way Tiffany's cashing in. Yeah, that was the most disappointing match of the night for me.
Yeah.
Once I saw I want to say it was on Instagram before the pay-per-view, because I've said in the prediction of your last video you posted, basically if there's a possibility if the cash in happens, cash in doesn't happen, whatever, it could be a failed cash in. It kind of was a failed cash in, it just didn't get to the part where it was an official cash in yet. But once I saw that what they did with the briefcase, I was like, never mind. That day I saw it on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it's Instagram. The pink freaking. I was like, nope. There's merchandising right there. I was like, the same thing they did with Damian Priest. With the whole purple Money in the Bank briefcase. This one's all looks like a Barbie style with a freaking pocketbook strap on it. I was like, nope. We ain't cashing in tonight.
Yeah, I think if she's going to cash in, I'm going to say it's most likely going to be against Liv.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think. Well, I think we're gonna get. Oh, you think she's gonna cash in against Liv?
If she were to cash in between her or Nia, I think she would go with Liv.
Or she'll set up where Nia gets knocked out or something like that, and she'll take advantage of it, and because she's a heel, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can probably see.
Because who didn't Alexa Bliss do that a couple of years ago to Nia Jax? Actually, she got knocked out in one of her matches, and she came in and cashed it in.
It's a good question. I forget.
Possible, very possible. Yeah, I can also see, provided they don't go against each other, which I'm still expecting, Jade or Bianca.
For when? Like for her to cash in on somebody?
Yeah, for her to cash in.
I don't think we're gonna see any title runs from either of them for a while. I think we're gonna have
their feud.
Their feud's gonna go to WrestleMania for sure. I think they want to get Jade. And I think, honestly, having her in the ring with Bianca is a smart move because Bianca can really control, that whole thing. So it's the same thing with like Logan Paul, even though Jade is trying to be a wrestler first, but Jade needed a lot of work. That's how AEW failed her. She's gotten way better. She's gotten way better, if you ask me. But there has been, that last pay-per-view, the Money in the Bank, which she had a couple, two botches, I think.
Yeah,
match.
Yeah.
But again, like I see potential in her, and I love her abs.
All right, well, glad we got that one out of the way. Now back to business. Drew McIntyre against CM Punk.
This was the match of the night, and I'm not being biased, obviously, but it legitimately was. Aside from the Bloodline, this has probably been the best story that they've been telling.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and I think it was classic. It was classic Shawn Michaels referee.
Oh yeah, you had that whole Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. I mean, down to Punk wearing Bret Hart's colors.
And some of the spots too. Some of the spots
Oh,
were like almost
absolutely. Yeah.
identical.
Yes. Aside from the, Bret Hart spit, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk almost slapped, or it was Drew McIntyre slapped him or something like that.
Yes.
So, we didn't get no spit or anything like that. But the storytelling, you could even feel the animosity in the ring. Like, that's how good this story has been. Like, you can, even if they're the bestest friends outside of this, you could still like, oh yeah, I could see why they hate each other. I could feel it.
And you could see this going on the rest
For
of the
a
show.
long time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
This goes to Mania.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe
Without a doubt.
I think there's gonna be a title involved come Mania.
With all three of them.
If it's not Punk and Rollins at Mania, it's a triple threat easily.
I think Drew wins the belt at some point, and CM Punk wins it at Mania.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah. Very possible.
I mean, again, the story was great. Seth Rollins was great as the ref, and basically he was like, oh yeah, I don't care if you hit him with a chair. I don't care if you're out of the ring for more than 10 seconds. And he was playing that Shawn Michaels role to a T. Like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Well executed.
It's the Shawn Michaels version of Simpsons Did It.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfectly well done.
And just as we're talking about it, that's where we are, the official WWE highlight reel. We're right at CM Punk right now.
I mean, and Punk, listen, he looked good. He looked good.
Punk screwed Punk.
Yeah, he looked healthy. He looked confident.
Ring gear was on point.
You could see he was a little nervous at the beginning, but you could see he was getting his confidence as the match went on and all that stuff.
Yeah, he did great.
And Drew and I know Gunther's a ring general, but Drew is a ring general.
Yeah.
In the sense, he is just so, like, he controls the ebbs and flows of every match.
Agreed. Yeah, that to me, it was match of the night.
Yeah.
Obviously, that we had a lot riding on the main event. We all knew what was coming, but
the main event's its own category.
Yeah, but as far as like story with an actual clean wrestling match, sure, there was some
with no titles,
with the referee issues and stuff like that. But you put that aside, exactly, no titles on the line, just the story is what's driving it. Basically, it's a bracelet which was driving this match.
A 50-cent bracelet. Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a ladder match for the bracelet.
I will bet my life on it. For
Hell in a Cell for the bracelet.
You're gonna see. Soon. CM Punk's gonna be the Taylor Swift of WWE. Like, everybody's gonna be exchanging friendship bracelets with him.
Oh,
because you're gonna see a ton of people wearing them soon. I guarantee it.
I feel like going on Fanatics right now just to see if they got a CM Punk bracelet
for $30.
Yeah, yeah, like a $60 bracelet.
Yeah.
That belt, that Roman belt's on there.
That doesn't surprise me.
See that? Did you see that thing?
No, I haven't. But it doesn't.
So they only made, what was it? Whatever long his title run was it 1,300 and something?
Yeah.
So the belt is just they only made that amount of belts, and it looks pretty awesome. But yeah, that's on there already, and was it OTC? Was that what was on
OTC?
Yeah, that's on there. Yeah, here we go. So I don't know if you could see it on mine. I don't know if you could see that or not. Can you see it? Is it too blurry?
Yeah, it's a little blurry.
Oh, yeah. I kind of can make it out. Just send it to us in our group chat, and I'll take a look at it.
1,316 days he was champion. So that's how many belts that they made. That was it.
And it's probably $1,300 something dollars.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should check that out while we're talking. Continue. I'm listening.
But yeah, anyway, Drew
that wins my match of the night. So
yeah, I don't know. My favorite match of the night was Liv versus Rhea.
Mine too.
Good storytelling. Good story.
Yeah.
Again, every match in here aside from Nia had good storytelling.
Yeah. So the next one. Now we can get into more of the Judgment Day. Gunther winning
the Ring General.
Yep, Gunther winning the World Heavyweight Championship against Damian Priest.
This match was good too.
Finn Balor turning on him.
This match was really good too.
Damian had no punches.
Yeah, I
because he had the Ring General.
I like Damian. Do not get me wrong. I do like him, but it's just something to point out.
He's just not consistent.
No, agreed. He's a big dude, so
yeah, it's just like every match I've watched, there've been some kind of botch. The biggest one I remember was the one where he jumped out of the ring.
oh my God, yeah, that's right.
I don't know if his foot got caught on the rope or something.
That was last year.
Yeah, I don't remember what event it was, but
that one with Drew McIntyre almost killed him.
yeah,
And Drew, like, again, going back to Drew being as good as he is, he had the wherewithal to, like, catch him, but make it look like he was attacking him.
yeah. But
so it's not on here, so I think it may have sold out already.
No, Paul Heyman bought
Now the SummerSlam belt is kind of like the gold belt from WrestleMania 40. That's still available, almost gone, but that one itself is going for $5.99. So I'm assuming it's probably around the same price.
yeah, man, that's just ridiculous.
And we all had Gunther winning this match, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, I wish I had like a spin thing to see. Every time we shift, it's like can you see a reflection? No. Okay. Because you're right on time with the match. It's Gunther and Damian.
Well, we all called it. We all called that Finn was going to turn on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was coming. It was, again, long-term storytelling. It was brewing.
So is this going to be kind of like eventually like also like a mini Judgment Day Civil War? Is there going to be or is it just going to be Damian Priest?
I think it's going to be Damian and Rhea are kicked out.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was going to say. Damian and Rhea get kicked out, and
so
Finn becomes the leader.
All right, so because of that, do we get at Bash at Berlin? Do we get a mixed tag match?
Yes,
with Dom and Liv versus Priest and Rhea, and Finn gets involved to even extend that whole storyline even more.
I could see Finn like maybe somehow becoming like the guest referee or something like that.
Right.
But I definitely see that coming. I do. I feel like it's like a Shield thing. So when Seth turned on the Shield, you know how Roman and Dean were kind of together for a little bit, and they kind of like faded apart. I feel like that's what this is going to be. Damian and Rhea are obviously two awesome single stars, so they're going to go and do their thing eventually by themselves. But for now, I think the two of them have the enemy of my enemies, my friend thing.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and the whole storytelling when Liv sent Dom like the pictures or whatever, and Finn and the rest of the Judgment Day were all in on it except for Damian and Rhea.
Exactly.
Yep.
He took the hotel
so basically the third version of the Judgment Day is pretty much going to be Finn, Dom, Carlito, and JD. And Liv. Liv.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see Liv in purple.
Yeah, I mean she could pull it off.
Or they just change the colors completely because Finn's in charge now. They go red.
Yeah, they go red.
Yeah, maybe they go red. Yeah, good.
And how about my kid pointing out that Easter egg? The red. The only thing that was in that room, in the backstage area when they were talking, it was Priest and Finn, was Finn Balor's
picture or whatever it was.
It was a box or something like that with his. Yeah. Because he was a demon. He did the purple demon one time, didn't he? In the beginning
against Edge.
Yeah. So and he said it was always been purple. All of a sudden, it was the only thing that was red in that room when they were doing that last talk before we went out to the ring.
Yeah, I mean, well, the one thing that kind of threw me off in that match, and we all talked about it, was when Damian delivered that, what is it, South of Heaven, his choke slam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then he rolled him closer to the ring or to the rope. I'm like,
yeah,
that was a little.
Here it comes.
Yeah,
I mean, if we could talk about that same thing that happened. I mean, do you know how many times Solo in the main event rolled into like his position for when?
Absolutely, because you could tell he's not as experienced as like Roman is.
Yep. Like rolling into the spot for KO's freaking
kept looking up at the Titan. You mentioned that, or Ted did.
And Cody did too. Cody did too.
Yeah, they kept looking up at the Titantron and all that stuff. Like, it's like, okay, we know someone's coming, because going back, I was watching Mania highlights this morning, and you can actually see Cody when he had Roman in the Crossroads hold. you could see him looking up at the Titantron, and that's when Solo came and spiked him.
Yeah.
So it was like
Yeah.
he was waiting for it. So
Well,
And that's
also,
that's how he knew Jacob was coming in, because he would
Yeah.
look, he would be looking at this one because he can see the angle what's behind him. So he could probably, all right, I gotta get here. He's gonna be coming.
yeah.
But we're getting
Since-
we're
well,
kind of going
yeah,
in blending
sorry.
yeah.
into that
Since
last one.
since we're talking about this, let's go into the main event. I don't think we have any more we need to address with Gunther and Damian. So let's
Good
let's
job to
go-
Gunther, though. I mean,
Oh yeah,
hats
I
off
think
to Gunther.
I think he's going to have a great title run.
Undertaker loves him, so I mean that's saying a lot when the Undertaker's behind you.
So his next opponent, I want it to be Brock, but I don't think it's going to happen as long as he's still involved in the
Right.
lawsuit. Again, I've said this in every episode so far, but I don't think it's happening. My guess is it's most likely going to be someone like Jey Uso.
Yeah,
Yeah, or
probably.
Sammy.
Ugh.
I'm telling you, I really think Sammy's going to be in the Romans bloodline.
Yeah,
He could be.
it makes the most sense. The original bloodline against the new bloodline.
Well, you know what it could be? This bloodline, I don't think Roman's going to be at SmackDown. I mean, we're on this match now, so we can talk about it. But I don't think Roman's going to be at this. He's going to be at this SmackDown. I could see a thing where this new bloodline just goes on like a scorched earth, and anyone that ever had any dealing with the bloodline to get to Roman, they're just going to take them out. So that means like Sami Zayn and Jey. I mean, like anyone that's ever had any deal, they were going to go scorched earth on them to set up the Civil War.
And I know it's coming. The Rock is pulling the strings on Solo.
Oh, 100%.
It's the Rock, and that's what's going to set up either, well, it won't be set up at Survivor Series. It'll be for Mania.
But what a shock.
Roman and Rock.
But what a shock that final surprise was. The pop was crazy. And
the crowd was dead for that match.
Yeah, but you know what? The minute you heard that pop,
but the thing was the pop inaudible because Jacob got hurt?
Yes.
Because I think the pop was supposed to be for after the match.
You didn't hear that? Did you hear that?
No.
Damn it. I thought I was going to get a good audio thing because I almost got a broken shoulder when this happened.
Are you trying to play Lesnar's theme?
Yeah, and he punched me thinking it was me, and it was my son.
Really? No, I thought it was Brock Lesnar. I'm like, oh.
I'll tell you what, but the audio had me going because
it coincided. It was perfect.
Yeah,
and that's exactly why he did it.
So for the viewers, Joe and I are watching the match, and this was after Jacob Fatu came out,
and they're beating the shit out of Cody.
The shit out of Cody, and then Danny's son starts the Brock Lesnar theme on his phone, and
we didn't know.
I think that Brock's coming in.
I didn't know he was doing it either, but I was into him. Like,
I'll tell you what, it was funny thoh. It was funny.
It was a natural reaction.
That's why my coffee table was crooked.
But I think so. Someone had meant. I apologize if I don't get the proper credit to the individual, but I read somewhere where they say Jacob Fatu didn't get hurt. It was a work because they didn't want to spoil Fatu and Roman that early in that fashion. They wanted to keep them apart. But
it looked like they had to change
legit.
up what was going on.
They said he walked out of there in a boot.
Oh, okay. So then there goes that theory then. But yeah, because why would Roman come down to the ring if Cody and Solo are both knocked out? You know what I mean? Like when everyone came out and did their again, this was a WrestleMania rehash anyway, but when everyone came out, it was for a reason. Like Cody was getting his ass kicked by Jimmy, so Jey came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Solo, Cena, Rock, Undertaker. So Cody was in trouble when his team came out, if you will.
Right.
There was no trouble. They were both knocked out. There was no trouble. But yeah, they pulled an audible. Okay, yeah. If you said he walked out in the boot, yeah, they pulled an audible.
Yeah,
I think he tried to get up, and he looked generally hurt. He was just like,
yeah, it's a shame.
It was one of those moments.
He put weight on his foot.
Exactly, and he was just like, just get in it, finish it. And
you saw him banging the wall Like,
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
pissed.
he was.
It would have
he
been
was in
cool to
pain.
see if it all went to plan. It would have been cool to see like the Bloodline in there beating the crap out of Cody and just Roman taking them all out. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome.
I've broken my ankle before. I had a feeling that something was wrong.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
He might have a high ankle sprain or something like that. If any, worst
I
case.
hope it's if he is really hurt, I hope for the best for him because he's another beast too.
Well, and then they're on a tag title run now.
That's right. And
Yep.
that Tom Aloa, man, he botched again yesterday. I don't know if anyone saw that.
The
In
corner.
the corner.
Yeah, he missed the corner. Someone said, "How do you miss the corner?"
Well, and like he stopped and then started a spear,
Yeah,
and then listening to try to justify the move was just.
There's already more TikTok videos of him with that part because it's the same thing that's the Starship Trooper thing. Like, I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. But they're showing each one of them. I ain't doing shit.
yeah. That's a shame. That's a shame because he was a beast. With Tama Tonga, they were a great tag team.
I mean, it doesn't mean they don't. He's in the right place to develop, so it's not like he can't.
It's true.
It's
true.
If there's one place you're going to get to learn, really learn, it's there. So
yeah, you might as well get to learn on the learning tree of like Roman and all them. I guess.
I'm actually so the highlight video is over, and it went into this unseen footage from the crowd of the return, and it's that part where the injury happened, and you can clearly see it. And Solo clearly looked confused, like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" You know what I mean? Like that. And it was almost, again, how they say like they didn't want to bring Jacob in so fast because he's going to overshadow Solo, and it looks right there. He was just like, pretty much like, "Yo, I'm down. Get in there and handle."
Yeah. You got to go do it.
Because I'll send you guys a video. It'll be in my history now. Because
how cool
he's sitting there going like, "What do I do?" Like that's you can see it.
You know what would have been great? They would have saved Roman because of the injury, and Arn Anderson came out for the save.
With his tight ass American Nightmare sweater.
And then he turns to Cody and goes, "You got friends here now."
I'm your friend.
I was like, yeah, why are they why is he saying that? Like,
or Arn Anderson turns on Cody and joins the Bloodline.
Yeah, I was like, why is he saying that?
Well, the four horsemen in the Bloodline.
Well, the funny part is, like, we're all talking about the Bloodline, like Roman and Cody's just there.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Cody's literally Cody's third wheel in this at this point.
Yeah, nothing against Cody, but it's just that this is all about the Bloodline now.
100%.
Cody needs Rock. Cody needs the Rock to come back.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, again, that's why I feel maybe Cena and Cody at WrestleMania, because you're going to get the Rock and Roman at WrestleMania.
Do you think we see Roman at SmackDown on Friday? I might miss this.
I don't think so.
I think
I don't think so. I don't.
I think if you don't see Roman, you're definitely going to see Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
possibly.
But I think Paul's got the fear in God in him right now. So I think unless Roman's with him, I don't think he shows up.
Or you get like a Paul Heyman via satellite or something like that.
I was about to say, or like a video of some sort.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
It's going to be during Solo's thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed the main event. I think it was. I mean, they all got their money's worth. I will say this: that one guy that would not sit down, man. If I was paying all that money for that
ringside seats like that,
yeah, it's like, dude,
you're thinking like, oh, I'm 3 rows out, and then like this guy who's 2 rows out is, and he was tall too.
Yeah, it was like. It's funny because my wife's like, me, I would have started a fight. I was like, I know. That's why I'm glad we weren't there. So,
been around many of those.
I was like, that's why I'm glad we weren't there.
So. Broken up many of those.
Did you ever see it's an old Boston Red Sox clip, but someone dropped a foul ball and then someone launched a pizza at him?
What?
Yeah, that would be me.
Fenway. Good times.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, as for this, like, I was happy with it. It's a rewatchable SummerSlam. That's what I always say too. If you get me into the 7s or 8s marker, I can go back and watch the pay-per-view. And and
I restarted it earlier too.
I've watched WrestleMania 40 already probably 3 times. just having it on in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
And this one I can watch. Yeah, I watched this twice now. So
Yeah, I
yesterday
mean,
with you
like
guys and today.
we had what? How many SummerSlams have we had in recent years where there's only been like one,
Yeah.
maybe two title changes?
Yeah.
I think they're doing a good job because with bringing the main four back into focus again, like it was, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like last year's Survivor Series, I felt like that was way up there compared to Survivor Series in the past. I mean, I don't have many memories of Survivor Series being that good. Like not since like days when it was always. I mean, you guys are too young, but like the original Survivor Series, it felt like it should be like 3 matches because you would have 5, 6 matches and they were all, 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 elimination matches from top to bottom. But SummerSlam, same thing. It kind of just fell off, you know what I mean? Compared to like Money in the Bank and Elimination Chamber and all that stuff. And now I feel like how they're doing this, the football stadiums. I know JJ, you were like iffy about it because of the takes away from WrestleMania. Oh, you were saying to 2 nights takes away from
The 2
WrestleMania,
nights
correct?
takes away from it. I think that should just stay a WrestleMania thing.
But again, Triple H said it in the press conference. This is another reason, and this is what we talked about before. How many missed opportunities? Why weren't they doing this? Why weren't they doing that? He legit said that because he's like, if he had all these extra stuff that we wanted to do, probably the Wyatts, the tag titles and stuff like that. He's like, the show itself would have been 6.5, 7 hours long.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do that. So they want to get it to where like all these storylines are going to be out there, and having the World Heavyweight Championship and then of course the Universal Championship. I feel like if you want to treat the two that they're like both kind of equal in their division,
Have them on separate nights.
have them on separate nights.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah,
Makes the most sense.
It's like if you're gonna do the same thing for the Royal Rumble. You do the women's on night 1, the men's on night 2.
yeah. If they decide to go that route,
Yeah,
yeah,
2 Rumbles
exactly.
in one night is a lot.
And it's and like, but then again, you're like, hold on, what do you do about Money in the Bank? It's 2 of them, but those matches are fun. But yeah, that's I don't think it's a bad idea if they're gonna do stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and if it makes the money, why not?
yeah.
Listen, I'm not closed on the whole idea. I just think it takes away. Change my mind. That's all I'll say. Change my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that one WrestleMania we had. Do you remember it started at like 5
Oh,
o'clock?
Jesus.
It wasn't overtime. It was 1 o'clock in the morning.
You literally had to scrape me out of your couch. That's how bad it was. I was like morphed into your couch.
And like before we would all complain about like, oh, WrestleMania 2 nights, what the hell? Because we'd always have our big party, and then the other day was like, well, I'm not having it on Sunday since Saturday.
Right.
We
And
all
you
have
know
work
what?
the next day.
I will say I love the fact that they make these pay-per-views or PLEs on Saturday. I love that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Thank you to whomever decided on that.
Now the NFL needs to do that for the Super Bowl.
Agreed. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Super Bowl Saturday sounds better than Super Bowl Sunday anyway.
yeah, how many people can't get off of work on that Monday? And
Dude, it's already booked. Like if you want a day off, at least for me, it's already booked.
I couldn't get off when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so I was out till I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just went right to work.
Yeah. Oh well,
because I didn't have seniority, so I didn't get off.
Once in a lifetime.
I could have called out, but it would have ruined my whole week if I did that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there you go.
Well, this should be an interesting Raw and SmackDown this week. I'm going to say SmackDown's going to be a lot more interesting than Raw. So,
ooh, I don't know. I'm actually
the CM Punk.
I'm vested in Raw this week, more so than I have been in a while. Raw, I get interested at like 8 o'clock, and then around 9, I just tail out.
Yeah,
I have a feeling they're going to go back to 2 hours.
They have to. They have to.
Yeah.
I think they might be on equal platforms this week.
Yeah. So then I think it might be better, instead of having a midweek show, maybe we do it. I don't know. Do we want to maybe try for next weekend if you guys have availability?
Saturday,
Yeah.
I won't be available. Saturdays, I'm going. If we do it early Saturday, because Saturday's my birthday, I'm going up.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Where are we going this time?
I don't know. She's got a couple breweries lined up that she.
All right, let us know.
She wants to ask us where we want to go. So
yeah, let us know so we can get a babysitter.
You guys free Sunday?
Sunday I should be.
Yeah, Sunday I should be good.
All right, well let's catch up Sunday. So, all right, well I'm gonna close this out. Well, Thank you everyone for joining our podcast today. It was a lot to discuss. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys all in the next video. See you guys.